Some conversations are very difficult to start. I know. And they are difficult to start because if you are not careful, when you start the conversation, there are some people who would come at you, labeling you as a hater, labeling you as an enemy of progress, labeling you as someone who does not want people to progress in life. But then, sometimes when they happen to, you just have to be bold to take a position. And after taking a position, based on how people will take it, you try to make that your back case. No matter how they will take it, you try to make that your back case. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Afrobeats and the fact that one fine musician here in Ghana by the name Darkovibes has put out a note, or better still, has put out a comment that Afrobeat is cast, or asked, okay, that is a street term, like Afrobeat it cast. In other words, Afrobeat is dead. And I know this conversation is a very hard one. It's a hard one because the moment you talk about Afrobeat dying or Afrobeat being dead, so many questions will be begging for asking. Okay, why do you think Afrobeat is dead? And why do you think it is not dead? So many questions will be begging that you ask for answers. Now, let's look at some things. To start with, that feeling that the craze of Afrobeat is no more what it used to be is also real. Let me say it in another way. Maybe if I leave it like that, you might not get the full grips of what I want to say. Remember some years ago, not more than a decade, remember some years ago, when you talk about sounds from Africa, when you talk about sounds that were really rolling musical circles, it was definitely Afrobeat. In fact, out of that, so many platforms that initially did not even recognize Afrobeat started recognizing them, like the American Music Awards. They did not have any category for Afrobeat some years ago. But once again, just a couple of years back, they gave it a category. In fact, their Super Bowl and all then coming in it. At a point, they even gave one slot to celebrate Afrobeat. Thanks to Burna Boy and the rest of the people who got the opportunity to be called for such opportunities to come to them. At that time, talk about music and the world will be talking about Afrobeat. Jamaicans started crying. Hey, what is happening? This is Jamaica. Black Rasta, my best friend, said Jamaica. This is Jamaica. You can't go to the nightclub and not be whining your waist. Like that is it. They want to enjoy their dance hall. That is what they want to enjoy. But at the point, you go to the nightclub in Jamaica, even in Jamaica, and you are not feeling the dance hall vibes that they are known for. It is because at that time, everybody was banging to yeah, 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 yeah. Like everybody was dancing to Afrobeat. It even pushed some of the stalwarts in the dancehall fraternity to come out to condemn, what is Afrobeat? There's nothing even in Afrobeat. So what is this craze? What is the noise about Afrobeat here, Afrobeats there? It became a conversation, a big conversation. In fact, a global conversation. Take it or leave it. Labels, music executives around the world started looking for those who were pioneering Afrobeat. Thanks to Nigeria, they were able to lock many of them down when it comes to business. And today, I can tell you, out of the Afrobeat craze some years ago, many Nigerian talents got the opportunity to be exposed to the world because there was a ready market for it. And there were some people who had the money to invest in those who were ready. At the time, some people were ready, others were also not ready. Because of that, the Craze brought in its wake pricing. In fact, it got to a time that people who were dealing with these Afrobeats artists some years ago on some cool dealings, like, oh, let's go and do it. There might not be any front money, but let's go and do it. Together, we break bread. At that time, before the Afrobeats craze, they were doing all these things with them. And out of that, it gave birth to many events. In fact, I can mention boldly All African Fest by Polo and his people. That was the idea. Charlie, this is our thing. Let's come together. We do it. After that, we break bread. It started like that beautifully. Some 1, 2, 3 years, All African Fest was happening. At least I followed some of these series in Dubai and other places. It was happening like that. And when the craze started, and they realized that now we are the movers and shakers of music in the world, they realized that demand on us is so high. Therefore, we cannot play any games with family and friends. All of them, they shot their prices up, skyrocketed. Boom! Their prices were, or their charges, skyrocketed to the top. All those people who were having dealings with them, they could not continue with them again. It means they had to look for other options to survive. It is one of the reasons why today, someone like a big name in Nigerian entertainment industry like Polo has always never been happy with the Afrobeats craze. In fact, I wouldn't say he wished them bad or he wished them evil. But then, someone like him waking up to hear another person also saying Afrobeats cast, I'm sure he say, I warned you. I cautioned you. But if people did not listen, or if people won't listen, he will not be happy that it is going the way it is going. But of course, he was heartbroken. He was disappointed. He was betrayed by his own people. And he felt like, this is our thing. We came together. We started building this. What happened? How come all of a sudden you guys have all left us chasing someone's money when we were building our thing all together? So such a person definitely would not be happy with the craze. Now, the craze really went on. Every corner that music was mentioned, Afrobeat craze was there. From the Asians to all them places. In fact, people that you know that, hey, these guys, they are traditionally correct. They are culturally correct. They will not just absorb anything that comes their way. They will not just expose their boundaries to just anything that comes their way. All those, they opened their arms, they opened their doors, they opened their ways for Afrobeat. Because if you not do Afrobeat, what would you do? Now the big question is it what it is today? The Afrobeat craze that we were all enjoying, is it what it is today? And I'm sure the obvious answer here is a big no. It is not. It is the reason someone like Darkovibes, who is telling us that he has been someone who has been following his dream, talking to music executives, both foreign and local, and he can hit his chest to say that based on information he is picking, back-end information he is picking, he is sure that Afrobeat is dead. He is sure that the craze is no more. He is sure that if you are now going to bet on Afrobeat, then definitely you are going to lose your money because it is not the same again. All things being equal, Afrobeat's strength has gone down and the center cannot hold. That is the reality. Well, Darkovibes said this in a beautiful way, succinctly, without hurting anybody in particular. And I would want you to watch it. After watching it, I'll surely come back to wrap up this whole presentation. I present to you Darkovibes from 3 Music Network. Culture Daily was the program that he was speaking on. 3 Music Network, Culture Daily on 3 Music TV. Watch it. I'll be right back.
Those times when we did the Jimapel, we're learning Afrobeats, we're in the Afrobeats bag, you know what I'm saying, trying to get that Afrobeats money, you know what I'm saying. But right now, as long as I am concerned, Afrobeats is cast. So
I just want to knock
you get lawyer. Like I have a lot of meetings with labels, execs, or back and forth. I'm independent as hell. So I have a lot. I get to have a conversation with all these guys, listen to the back end. God being so good, I've created relationships with some people. Sound not pie. Right now, when you put out an Afrobeat song, you're putting out an Afrobeat song with close to about 20 different artists who labels are paying heavy money for that, not even recouping. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you think has happened?
Wait, I'm told the mic has gone down. When they want to hear you.
Darkovibes mentioned Afrobeats. No, Afrobeats gone there.
From what you say as an artist, and it's very interesting because often people like us, media personalities,
and even in Ghana right now, there's an agenda that we are really trying to promote Ghana music, Ghanaian high life music, and stuff.
I noticed that,
and I think this year it's working.
I noticed that.
Louder.
And have you noticed that it's working this year? Like hip life, high life, it's really working.
It started somewhere around last year, and like I'm saying, most of these guys are not recouping, bro, and the labels are fuming because. When they bring the bread, right now they want to alter your sound to make you sound like, you know, like a Burna Boy or a Sake to achieve the same successes that maybe a Sake and Burna Boy has achieved. Forgetting that, you know, there's a sound that we are pioneering. You know, the Afrobeat sound, this is something, big shout outs to R2Bs. This is something that they've been pioneering for Ghana for a very, very long time. And they've been consistent with it. But as it stands right now, the genre is too popular. It's too big right now. So to invest into it is very expensive. For the return, it's very low.
Anyway, so you saw it. Darkovibes did not mince words. He was straight with it. And indeed, it gets worrying when you all wake up to know that, this became more or less like our beacon of hope. This was what we were all relying on. On countless platforms, I've said that if you are doing music from Africa at the moment, and on any given platform, you are supposed to identify the song, I will not force you to say any other thing. Just say Afrobeat. After all, we all want to sell. So just say Afrobeat. And as Afrobeat sells, whatever you are selling automatically also sells. As Afrobeat wins, whatever you are doing, automatically you are also going to win. I gave that advice to many, and I said it on many platforms. But today, is it the same? Is it like that? And I'm saying it's an obvious no. The factors that have caused this, they are not something that I can point out everything in this editorial, but the factors are plenty. The factors are plenty. I remember that times, there was one Nigerian influencer, music blogger, I think Joey Akan, yes. Joey Akan said something, and I'm sure today, all these things will be playing back. If the fear people are harboring is anything to go by, all these things will surely be coming back to play. Now, he said something that Nigeria should not be happy enjoying all the money coming from the West in the name of Afrobeat. But in the near future, that is where the regret will come in. And he was asked, why would regret come in? And he said something. He said, yes, our people are singing the songs. The songs are being made from our country or our continent. But then when it goes out there, we don't own it anymore. That was what Joey Akan said. So yes, when it comes to Nigeria, the boys are recording the songs in Nigeria. The producers are in Nigeria. In fact, everybody who matters in the music ecosystem is in Nigeria. Unfortunately, when the song comes out and the consumption starts, then we lose that right, in quotes, to the people who are investing money into it. And who are they? Most of them, these foreign music execs and labels. The moment the money goes there, It is their thing because they invested heavily into some of these things. And I sit here asking myself, okay, so today, the way it is, as much as people are still banging and dancing to Afrobeat, the craze is not like it used to be where almost everybody was part of it. Now, some people are even running away from the Afrobeat sound to just try something else. They want to do something new that will sound fresh in the ears of the people. Because they've heard people talk about this, talk about that. It is no more the way it used to be. The craze has really come down. The hype around it, even the musicians who were supposed to lead the pack in taking some decisions that will be very useful to the African continent and how we do our kind of music. Those people, when they started getting belly full, nobody was ready to talk. When they started getting fed, nobody was ready to talk. They said, okay, it is not necessary. We can't do it again. Let's try another option. Now, for Darkovibes to say Afrobeats is dead, when he himself knew what he's doing, he can still refer to it as Afrobeat. When even what he's doing, he is still within the confines of the Afrobeat craze, but he's telling you that it is done, then you all need to be careful and start asking questions. So if it is done, what happened? Because many have tried doing it. Oh, okay, we too, they can't release Afrobeat. We too, they can't release. Everybody almost dropped everything they are doing to come and concentrate on Afrobeat. Well, it wasn't bad, like I'm saying. Maybe it was very perfect. Everybody wanted to survive. And if there was a survivor, an easy survival way, who doesn't want to survive in the easiest ways? Everybody would want to. So if they saw it like that, they would all run there. But unfortunately, looking at how things are unfolding, looking at how the executives are feeling. In fact, he even made some point that there are many executives who are putting money into this and they are not even getting it back. Yes, it is possible too. Because if the market becomes saturated, you should know that the few people who will be only lucky will get the benefits thereof. But if it becomes like that, then there is trouble. If it becomes like that, then there is trouble. So now that it is evidently clear that the craze of Afrobeat has dropped drastically, a burden of knowledge, what would you do? What would you say? Who caused some? Who caused some? Now, who caused some? Is there a solution soon? Many questions are being asked. Now, it is up to us to find ways to still survive around the Afrobeat thing that we created. Whether the sound is high or low, whether the sound is up or down, whether the craze around it is still impactful or not. The brand has been created. If you do it right, there is always one of the few who will get away. Or there is always one who will get away from the lot. So if you are still able to do the packaging right and still submit it to the world, I am sure some people will still start consuming it. But Darkovibes has started a wild conversation, a conversation that many would not be willing to start. Because to them, Afrobeat is Afrobeat. But to him, he thinks that the craze is no more. And if the craze is no more, it means one thing: the energy is going out. It is a lesson here. Let's see ways that we can revive this. The music executives, both here in Ghana and abroad, how are we all making our interventions clear on this so that we can save another thing that is going bad? To everybody who has been a contributor to the industry, how are we all coming together to share ideas to keep the energy of Afrobeat going? Because when Afrobeat goes, I know some people might think, oh yeah, it will be like that. Because some few people were even enjoying it. But remember, when it goes, it affects the whole of Africa music. Remember when it goes, the conversation that we enjoyed in terms of Afrobeats, both countries and even other countries, we are sure going to lose it. Therefore, we need to make sure it is protected in ways that we can. We have to change some ways of doing this Afrobeats business. There are some conversations that we need to have as a continent, and again, as individuals who were pushing the idea that, yeah, manage it. Manage it in a way that it doesn't go down. Manage it in a way that it is sustained. Manage it in a way that tomorrow, generations yet to be born would even come and still enjoy the Afrobeat benefits that Africa we created. Until then, let me say thanks to Theophilus Digosh. Let me also say thanks to man like Buju Lines and to you for spending time to watch us. But do you first of all agree with Darkovibes that Afrobeat cast, as in Afrobeats is dead? Do you agree with him or not? Share an opinion or two here on Sammy Flex TV and subscribe to us after when you have some cool time to do this. Until then, stay good because I am good all the time. Salute.